Good afternoon, folks. Chief Meteorologist Nick Lillia here with a look at your tropical update for June 17th of 2019. Brought to you by the good folks at Pine Belt Gutters. Things is still reasonably quiet for us, which is, hey, great news. It is June. It's very early in the year, but we will take the quietness. Taking a peek at where we generally look this time of the year, it's basically into the Gulf of Mexico, Northwest Caribbean, off the East Coast. We've got our little bullseye here, kind of in the elbow of Florida that I've been talking about. Basically all June since we started doing these, because that tends to be where stuff tends to happen this time of the year as cold fronts pass on by. As we get later into June and into July, then we start to be able to look out toward the Dominican Republic and Haiti and Puerto Rico and into the rest of the Caribbean. But for now, we've got to take a peek a little bit closer to home. And this is what the Gulf of Mexico looks like right now. We had a little MCS, a little cluster of showers and thunderstorms kind of fall into the Gulf of Mexico. There's still a brewing out there, but outside of that, really not much to speak of. There's a fair amount of shear happening out there. We've got upper level winds that are kind of drifting around. We've got a cluster of storms that are happening just off to the east coast of Florida as well. We'll see that coming up on the maps here in a second, the forecast maps. Zooming out, looking at kind of the wider view of the open Atlantic, and again, like I said, for the most part, stuff happens close to home, but we always take a look out here to see what's going on. A fair amount of shear. You can see all the thunderstorms moving from kind of west to east out here. That's a good indication that you've got some shear, and you're probably not going to get tropical development out there. And then, yeah, the east coast of Africa. Everything looks good over land where it's got plenty of heat, and then it gets out over the water where the waters are a bit cooler, and everything kind of turns into this, a whole lot of nothing. So this may look really robust, but I will say we're not too terribly concerned about that quite yet. All right, so there's your cluster of stuff that's just off the east coast of Florida on the 850 millibar vorticity. But, you know, I got to say, up in the mid-levels, 700 millibars, we got a lot of dry air. All this gray stuff out here, that's dry air, which means you're not going to see much in the way of any tropical development in those areas. And that's like the whole area. I mean, look at this. This is the open Atlantic, Northwest Caribbean, Gulf of Mexico. We're covered up with dry air in the mid-levels. Even as we head through the weekend, we just get another shot of some dry air. And again, this stuff's blowing all the way across the open Atlantic, the Caribbean, Gulf of Mexico. Things looking good through the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. We get another shot of some dry air in here, and that sticks around through the 26th and 27th. And I think finally, once we get toward the end of June, that may start to change. But until then, at least in the forecast models, things are looking all right. So there's your tropical update for June 17th, brought to you by the good folks at Pine Belt Gutters. Consider yourself tropically updated.